Hitting the open seas, Jeremy and I test a survival suit made from a suitcase. Will we sink or swim?
History is full of inventors who've tried to change the world, but there's a fine line between genius and absurd.
We dig up patents from long-lost inventions and bring them back to life. We're going to build these inventions from scratch.
And put them to the test.
And some of them might actually work. Jeremy McPherson is an amateur historian and special effects artist who's worked on films like X-Men and Chicago.
Matt Hunter is a skilled carpenter and backyard inventor.
Together, we are the Reinventors.
In the early 1900s, disasters at sea killed thousands. Remember the Lusitania? Who can forget the Titanic? In response to disasters like these, Canadian inventor John Edlund designed one of the world's strangest water survival suits.
We're going to build it from the original patent drawings, and if it passes our tests, we'll show that the suit could have saved lives, and who knows, maybe even changed history, at least for many shipwreck victims. You know, you're always playing in the water table. What do you got going on today?
This is serious. I'm thinking about the steamship Atlantic.
Oh yeah, nasty maritime disaster, right?
Oh, worst up until that point, actually.
So what happened that night?
2 a.m. in the morning, foggy night, they're racing back into Nova Scotia, and they run up on this rock, full tilt, and it brings the stern end around so quickly that they're hanging sideways.
Yeah.
And as the crew and officers go on deck and start cutting lifeboats loose, huge waves are knocking everyone in the water.
So all the lifeboats on the ship were washed away?
All 10 are gone, passengers are left with nothing.
So not one passenger gets in a lifeboat. Must have been a huge loss of life.
546 dead in icy water that night.
Accidents like the one that sank the Atlantic were happening more often. That's because there were so many ships traveling between Europe and North America.
It started in the late 1800s, when millions of Europeans left their homes to come to Canada and the United States. They wanted a fresh start and a new life, but they had only one method of transportation: the sea.
Travel wasn't nearly as safe as it is today. For example, huge steamships, even the ones many considered unsinkable, sometimes had accidents and sank.
So much like you're afraid to fly today, people back then must have been getting a bit nervous about crossing the ocean in these steamships.
Scared for their lives.
So there must have been some guys, I guess, putting together some pretty neat inventions to try and save lives out there.
There'd have to be.
Oh, I know there were. Check this out.
Okay.
Wow, this thing is really crazy looking.
It's hilarious.
It looks a bit like a floating dog house with a swimsuit or a wetsuit hanging down below it, huh?
Gumby bottom, cosmonaut top.
The big question is, will it keep you dry?
With this sort of structure, it looks so heavy. I don't understand what's going to keep you afloat.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's build this thing.
Just did a little bit of research on what was available at the time, like raw steel flat stock was readily available. Everybody was working in it. Rubberized canvas is huge back then, so that's easy peasy. I'm very excited because it looks like, everything's going to be easy to find and pretty easy to work with.
With the list finished, it's time to check on Matt. He's already out shopping.
Yeah.
Can you take something down?
Okay, shoot.
Can you get 4 foot lengths of 0.125 by an inch flat stock, raw steel?
Yeah, okay, no problem. I got the rubberized canvas, which is wicked.
Did you?
I also found this incredible suitcase. You are not going to believe this thing.
You were able to find
It looks exactly like the one from the drawing.
Well, you've done well. You've done well. See you soon.
I'm back.
That was fast, man. Very fast.
The material for the suit will almost be identical to what Edlund chose. A waterproof canvas used to make raincoats, like the Macintosh.
All right, so this stuff is about as close as we're going to get to the actual fabric.
I think this would work well.
Let's do this.
Get comfy. Do you mind if I come up?
Oh,
It'll be easier.
just don't drop anything on me like your hammer.
All right. Easy. Low on the crotch.
Yeah, careful in there. We definitely want to make sure every one of these things is waterproof, otherwise it could pull you right to the bottom, right?
I think the feet are going to be trouble. Can I see the drawing for a second?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's how fat they actually had, or he planned on doing the joint. Like, that's a lot of material. I like that. I don't think it's going to actually work.
No, it's not going to make that a waterproof seal, is it? No. So let's,
That'll be okay. I think there's lots of materials, and then we'll just figure out some sort of way to round this out.
Yeah, maybe some kind of a cement or a heat seal.
Yeah,
you know? It'll take some time to dry, but I think it's going to make it more integral and definitely more waterproof. The Edlin suit wasn't the only invention designed to help shipwreck survivors. Another crazy patent from the past dealt with the same problem, but much differently. These are floating boat shoes.
Very silly looking.
I don't know, are they silly? Look at this. You put them under your feet, so if the passenger gets washed off the ship into the ocean, they can float on the surface of the water.
He doesn't look like he's having a good time. Well, I guess we can try and build it.
Buddy, I've built these.
Really, yeah?
I'll meet you at the bench.
All right, let's do that.
There it is.
Those are bigger than I thought.
What do you think? Here's the rationale. Your foot goes here in the booty. Here's the mast you put your hands on to hold yourself upright. A little bit of styrofoam here for flotation. Let's go to the water and check it out.
You are wearing those.
We'll see.
All right.
Do you really believe these things are going to float? Do you think these things would have saved lives?
I certainly think they would, have kept people out of the water if they were able to get into them. I guess the biggest thing's going to be getting them on and staying up.
These aren't cumbersome at all.
You know, although it'd be fun to see Matt in the water, we added a metal brace to keep him from doing the splits and ended up in the lake.
That's great action.
In theory. It's like a
great.
dance, isn't it? It's just about time to put the boat shoes through their paces. After that, we're going to finish building the Edlin suitcase suit.
Is Matt going to sink, or will he prove this crazy invention would have worked?
This is one small step for Edlin, one giant step for humankind.
We are building a suitcase survival suit designed in 1916. But first, we're testing another odd invention, also designed to save lives in shipwrecks, the boat shoes.
Yes.
Let me get my booties on.
I think
Let me assume the position.
the float to weight ratio is working beautifully.
Yeah. Beautifully for you in the dock. Okay.
Oh. You all right? Did you close your mouth?
Yeah.
Okay.
I closed everything. The boat shoes were obviously unsteady. We wanted to try and get them on in the water, something a passenger forced off a sinking ship would have to do to survive.
You picture icy waters too, because these are pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm picturing them, don't worry.
And you're fighting off rocks and sharks.
Okay, what do you need sharks?
You're gonna 2-foot it? Lean forward, lean forward, lean forward. If you do it with your eyes closed, it'd be more realistic. Kick, kick, kick. Kick, kick. Do the egg beater. The point was to stay dry, though.
I got one more in me.
Okay, let's do one more.
Deck.
Go for a jump. Go forward, if anything.
Let's retire these right now.
Are you all right?
I never want to see those again.
All right.
Ever. They don't do anything.
I think we saw how that patent failed.
Well, failed indeed. I mean, they were extremely unstable in the water, and they were almost impossible to get onto once you were in the water.
Yeah, and zero protection from water, wind, or waves. So that's 3 giant stumbling blocks why this patent didn't get off the ground.
I'll say.
It's back to the suitcase survival suit and the man who designed it. John Edlin was a Canadian inventor who survived 3 accidents at sea.
He designed a survival suit that would keep a shipwrecked passenger alive long enough to be rescued. It folded out of a suitcase, and Edlin believed his invention could save countless lives.